envy, pride, wrath, lust, gluttony, sloth, and greed. These are the 7 digital deadly sins. This new media website brands itself as an interactive reflection of our digital selves, which helps the user determine if they truly are a digital sinner. This reflection occurs as the user clicks through videos and stories about the sins and even answers polls that relate to their experience with social media. The site begins with a brief mashup of the videos made for each sin, then fades into a floating grid of images. There are 49 floating images, all evenly categorized into one of the 7 digital sins. When an image or sin is selected, the other 6 images related to that sin come together to form a new circular grid. From there, those 7 displayed images related to a specific sin will lead the user either to a video, story, or poll. When the user is done with a sin, they can close out and return to the grid. Every path the user can take is similar, as each sin has 1 video, 3 stories, and 3 poll questions. The overall design of the 7 digital deadly sins piece is very clean and minimal. The floating grid slides smoothly with the cursor as you move it around the screen, with the main images for each sin staying in the front and the other images farther away moving along a spherical path. Once you click on a sin, there are smaller images in the background with different geometric motifs of lines and shapes. The color scheme of the website consists of shades of gray with bright colors like magenta for contrast. The articles within each sin are usually paired with a picture to give the content some imagery, like this picture of a Sherlock Holmes-esque detective scrolling through his phone, paired with the article called I Spy on My Kids. 7 Digital Deadly Sins utilizes media components such as sound, video, text, and graphic design. The sound and video are used in the opening montage of videos and in the 7 main videos found for each sin. Text can be found in the articles and polls that are within each of the sins as well. However, graphic design is the largest media component found on this website, as it is used everywhere to provide aesthetics, create motifs, and an immersive experience for the user. The website is very easy to navigate and mildly interactive too. The picture grid design and clearly labeled close button allow the user to navigate between the sins quickly and effortlessly. The interactivity comes into play a little as the user can decide which sins to read about. The peak of interactivity occurs in the polling section of each sin, where the user is faced with a scenario to either condemn or absolve, and from there they will answer whether or not they do that action as well. After answering, the user is shown all overall results from everyone who has been on the website. The simplicity and ease of use on the website makes sense because the content is very straightforward and easy to digest. The simple interface makes for a simple sitemap as well. As I navigated through the website, there were definitely times where I thought that one of the sins applied to my life, and there were times I could not relate at all. The site forces you to reflect and have these thoughts when you take the polls, some of which are eye-opening. This piece is very good at getting people to think and will leave you contemplating your social media usage. Many articles and polls I found extremely relatable, whether I have or someone close to me has experienced something similar. I like this website because it's entertaining, relatable, and leaves an intellectual impact on the user that encourages them to reflect. To top it off, all of the content is beautifully designed. The 7 Digital Deadly Sins demonstrates Lev Manovich's new media principle of modularity. This principle is defined as the combination of discrete samples used to make something larger, while the samples used do not lose their significance or independence. The website combines many types of media samples, including grids, text, graphics, and videos, to convey one large message about sinning with new media, while each individual sample is equally important and would make sense on its own. When browsing through the website, I was immediately reminded of Nicholas Carr's article, Is Google Making Us Stupid?, which explores how social media could be rewiring our brains. The digital sin of sloth reminds me of Carr's insight about how social media users no longer have the attention span or willingness to read long articles, or what he calls power browsing. Carr's beliefs about Google and the internet making people stupid go hand in hand with the 7 sins. If the internet is making us dumber and remapping our minds, it definitely has the capacity to make us feel greed, pride, lust, wrath, and envy as well. Does this make you a digital sinner?